this video, I'm going to give you a tip about persuading and using persuasion. We all need to persuade from time to time, whether it is in a job situation or whether we're selling a product or a service, or we want to persuade somebody of our point of view and that our point of view is the correct one. We want to change minds. We want to be movers and shakers and influencers. But we all need to persuade. Let me give you an example. This is a good tip in relation to persuasion. It's a simple tip, but it works very, very well. Let's say I'm selling a second-hand car, and let's say the person who expresses an interest comes around to the house, and I have the car ready. It's a second-hand car. They're having a look at it. They're walking around. It looks good. I have it nicely cared for and dickied up and ready for sale and so on and so forth. And they're walking around it and they appear to be interested. They appear to be very interested. But if I say to them, look, I'm going to be absolutely straight with you. There is, and I'll show you, if I bring you around the far side of the car here, there's a scrape here that's hardly visible to the naked eye, but nevertheless it is there. And I wanted you to know, I wanted just to tell you about it. Here it is, look. And they look and they see there is some sort of a scrape there or whatever. What I've done there is I've made a damaging admission. And that damaging admission will allow me or give me a great degree of credibility with that person, because I've gone out of my way to make this damaging admission to them. They may never have found it out themselves, and therefore everything I say after that is going to have a fair degree of credibility. Now, this is a technique that can be used in a wide number of situations and circumstances, in court, in school, at the WRC. If at the WRC you have, for example, some difficulty or some problem with your case, some weakness, some inherent flaw, rather than running away from it and hiding from it, put it out up front, be open and make the damaging admission, and recognize the infirmity. And it could be to do with your evidence either, but rather than being found out or rather than somebody else discovering it, you're far better off getting it out into the open yourself. And from that point on, everything else that you say after that will have a fair weight, a fair gravitas of credibility. Because let's face it, if you get a child in school or a child at home indeed, and something goes wrong and you're taking them to task, and the child holds his hand up and says, yes, I did that, I admit it, I was wrong. Everything else that the kid tells you after that, you're going to believe. You're going to believe because he's not lying through his teeth. So the damaging admission, there's a lot of situations, a lot of scenarios, a lot of circumstances in which you can use it. I have done it myself, quite frankly, at the WRC. I've done it in court. In other words, you hold your hands up and say, Judge, I can't push any further than this. Unfortunately, my client did X, Y, or Z, and so on. But it does enhance and increase your credibility, quite frankly. And it's a persuasion tactic or trick or strategy that is well worth considering. So again, just to go back to the example of the second-hand car, rather than running away from the faults, if you actually find a fault or have a fault that you actually disclose to the other party, you're going to have far more credibility and a far better chance, I believe, of selling your car. Hope you find this video useful. If you do, I would appreciate if you gave it the thumbs up down below. Thanks a lot.